Hello, Miss Erin Fulk. How are you doing?
Hey, Scott. How are you?
Doing good, doing a lot better than you are. I basically just threw some fruit snacks to my 4-year-old daughter that's home right now. I was like, hey, we got a show with Bestway International and Evardy Construction and Miss Erin Fulk. You got to mind your P's and Q's.
Why
What
is she
about
not
you?
at school?
What?
Why is she not at school?
So we thought she had strep. She just has hand, foot, mouth. So life of little kiddos, you know.
Got it.
Were you homesick?
Stop it. We're done.
Okay. All right.
What are you doing for Halloween, Scott?
I'm gonna do a construction worker with a mustache. That's lazy suburban dad. What about you? Are you gonna be anything for Halloween?
Is Julie gonna be a couple's costume with you?
No, we've done it before, but you know, who knows? She may change everything, you know. So, but what about you? Are you gonna be dressing up as anything?
You know, probably not. Every now and then, like since I just got my lips redone, I'll go as Kim Kardashian.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to go to my closet and do. So if my daughter wants me to do that one, I'll do that one last minute. Usually depends on my date if I'm going out later.
Not
I'm
well.
going as anything. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm sure you'll have everyone tune in and tell us where they're watching from and tell us their Halloween costume. But funny enough, your hair looks so beautiful at our charity fundraiser called KC Can that the Malouk family helps put on. And I noticed your hair, but I did not notice your lips. Maybe that's not my thing. I noticed haircuts and hair color.
I got new lips too.
That's cool. That's awesome.
You're old. You got to do all sorts of stuff. When you're an old woman, you just fall apart. You got to do all sorts of fun stuff to yourself.
Yeah, little red spot on my eyes, put a little Neosporin on it, but you know, not injecting the lips though. But I mean, maybe I should.
Well, you know who did remember Rania that was on the show a few weeks ago?
Yes, yeah, of course. Great entrepreneur.
She did so good. Look, Paul says, hard to watch through the mask of my Deadpool costume. I like that. I've seen some pretty good costumes already over on TikTok. There's some pretty good ideas. So a lot of still this year again, a lot of Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift's. Seeing a lot of those. Both of my kids, do you know what both of my kids went as this year, which is super random because one's a senior in high school and one's in the 7th grade. Their groups of friends all went as Monsters, Inc. I don't know why that's making a big comeback with the older kids, but both of them went as Monsters, Inc. group with friends.
Yeah, I know. Saturday Night Live, Lauren Michaels would always say, is this funny or is this funny like an inside joke? And I feel like with young people, maybe it's an inside joke that we're just too old to figure out why it's cool.
I don't know, but they were both mad the other one was doing it. It was quite entertaining for me. Why don't you talk about our sponsors for a second? I'm really out of energy.
Well, funny enough, towards the end of the year, if you are shipping a lot of international freight, there's a lot of tariffs to be aware of. And those tariffs can be very tax advantageous for your business. So Bestway International, something to think about. Construction, this is slow season right now. So it's a great time if you're building to talk to your general contractor to prepare for January, February, and March of next year. Businesses revolve around taxes, and so does Bestway International and Evardy Construction. So if you're making some cash, they're good people to be talking to about investing in your business.
We do have a show next Tuesday, but next Tuesday is election day. So please vote before the show. We're not going to ask you who you voted for. We're just asking you to vote.
No way. We're going to be asking everyone who they voted for, and it's going to be like Thanksgiving dinner.
Make it super awkward around here. No, but please do vote next week. But we do still have the show, but we would love to see you vote. So, all right. Well, nobody cares about us. Let's bring in our
bring in the talent.
Bring in the talent. Let me get this terrible song. All right. Joining us today is Deb North and Tyler Tucker. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We are good. Real quick, if you are watching from Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, let us know which one you're watching from and let us know who you're here to see. Are you watching the live version or the replay? All right, Deb, we're going to start with you. Who are you? What do you do? And how do you get to Kansas City?
Well, I am Deb North, and I'm the CEO and founder of Yes Athletics, and we are solving the problem of girls not having their own shoes and apparel in the sport of wrestling. Title IX was passed over 50 years ago, and come to find out, when my daughter wanted to wrestle, these girls were still wearing boys' apparel and boys' shoes. So we have solved that problem, and now we were the first to market with wrestling shoes for girls. So, and we also support other, MMA, any combat sport, MMA, powerlifting, things like that. I graduated from Baker in 1993, so I'm the old one in the room here apparently. So, and I moved to Wichita. That was my first job out of school. It was Koch Industries, and then I came to Kansas City to talk to some headhunters, and they ended up hiring me. So I was a headhunter for years for Spencer Reed at College of Metcalf. I think they've moved now, but then I went out on my own in 2010, 2011, and formed True North Consulting. And then Yes Athletics is having their 5th birthday coming up, November 4th.
And so, Deb, when you think of your top 2 or 3 sellers, what are the products that the audience would really recognize? And then how do they go and purchase them?
My website's yesathleticsusa.com. If you want, if you are not a wrestler, or if you don't have girls that wrestle, but you want some fun shoes to wear to the gym, we have some called the Beast, which they're like leopard print, animal print, snake skin looking shoes. So they're very unique and fun. So anyone can wear our shoes.
And so what was the aha moment for you to start your business, and when did you know it really had legs?
Well, when my daughter wanted to wrestle, so that was probably 2017, 2018. And your first year you go and you have the hand-me-down shoes, right? And that's what I made her do, because I was like, I'm not going to go spend money if you're not committed to this sport. And the next year we looked, and it was like everything was black and white, and it was no fun. I'm like, even at the time, so in 2018, 2019, I mean, it was one of the fastest growing sports. I was like, wow, I can't believe this doesn't exist. So I just got a wild hair. I mean, I call it my COVID baby because I launched in late 2020. So that was my COVID baby, was starting a business.
Okay, so how has this year been? Because as a former college athlete and a girl who went to school to be a sports broadcaster, this has been an incredible year for girls sports. How has this year affected your business?
I mean, there's been a lot of traction, but of course, I mean, the women wrestlers won 4 Olympic medals, so that was super helpful. They're becoming more household names among athletes. So yeah, I mean, there's been, especially in Kansas City is amazing, right, with their women's sports and their support of soccer. And so yeah, I mean, I think it's just not only riding the wave of the sport of wrestling for girls, but I mean, just women's sports. It's helping fuel that growth.
Nice. Well, we're excited to have you here and learn.
I'm so excited to be here.
All right, Tyler, who are you? What do you do? And how do you get to Kansas City?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, and thank you for the walk-up music. I felt like I was back in high school, stepping up to the plate or something, My name's Tyler Shepard. I'm the CEO and founder of Free. So we are a brand new kind of pre-launch apparel company. So the whole theme is we promote the balanced equality between physical and mental fitness, and we partner with foundations in the mental health space. And for every purchase made, we make a donation back to one of our foundation partners. So we'll be launching here in spring. We have a soft launch going on right now with some hats and some pretty basics that we have on the website. But yeah, that's what I have going on. I've been in the tech startup world for about the last 12 years or so. So e-commerce is pretty new for me. So I'm still involved, with the tech company here in Kansas City, which is great. Born and raised here in Kansas City. Was a Shawnee kid, made my way out to K-State, met my wife, and came right on back here. So living in Overland Park right now and really enjoying it.
So you're very much in the people business, and you're creating a people brand, and you manage a lot of people. What is one of the things behind your brand that you hope to connect with others that you think will resonate?
That's a great question. I mean, the biggest reason I've started this is, I lost my brother-in-law, who was also my best friend, over 7 years ago. He struggled with mental health after living in an extremely healthy and successful younger life, and he was blindsided by it. And my wife and I, unfortunately, and his family had to watch his spiral, if you will, and watching him go through that, and then starting a foundation in response to that, and then seeing how many lives we can impact and change and save through the foundational work that we were doing. I think that that's a story that people will really resonate with. And the biggest reason I wanted to start this brand is after he passed, I found out he was planning on running a race in California with one of his best friends. So I decided I'm going to step in and I'm going to run that race for him. And, at that time, I was also going through a pretty severe amount of stress and anxiety. And as I started training and kind of getting back into the sports and athletics world, obviously I just started feeling better, as you will. And then it wasn't until I started bringing in all these mental fitness activities into my training that things really changed for my life. And I know there's a lot of people out there like me that are struggling. And so if we can, promote health and wellness and happiness and educate a little bit, I know, people will really gravitate towards the brand.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah.
Deb, now, second question, what is the most pivotal point in your career?
I'm sorry, was that to me?
No, Deb. Yeah.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Bad transition.
We were like, who do you want to
Tyler just kind of shared a pretty pivotal moment, so he's going to have to work up on the next question. But
Okay.
what's the most pivotal moment in your career?
I think I'm going to kind of focus on lesson learn maybe. And I'm kind of, since I'm a little bit further along, I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, right? I mean, when you're in this circle, that's a lot of who you hang out with because they know what you're going through. So one thing I learned is that there are folks out there, consultants that, their job is to make you feel like they gaslight you to make you feel like you don't know what you're doing. And I would say to any entrepreneur out there that is in that situation, you are smart, you are capable, you do know what you're doing. Don't necessarily listen to some of the voices out there. There's a lot of noise. So just believe in yourself and have the confidence to know that you are capable.
So Deb, here's a curveball question. Was there someone in your life that doubted you and it ended up motivating you to be great?
Most of my inner circle, I think, believe in me. I'm pretty type A. I don't fail as much as I'm failing at fantasy football. We'll just say that. Those relationships, I guess they just, once you get through that frustration, you realize I am capable and I'm going to set the world on fire, right?
No, it's like you hinted towards maybe someone motivating you in your past. So I want to ask that question. Mm-hmm. And as you look to the future, back to the positive note, what excites you the most about your brand and your business?
I just, we're a mission-driven business also. There's so much economic disparity within sports. Everybody lives in Johnson County, right? So we don't see it as much, but it's out there. So we support organizations like Reaches and Wrestling for Life, and we always are donating scholarship shoes to schools. I have coaches calling me all the time, like, man, I've got a couple athletes and they can't afford shoes, and I have a lot of returns I can't resell, so I might as well, help a kid get on the mat, things like that. So I'm excited about just the fact that this sport is growing, and I feel like we have a lot of traction. And we pivoted into apparel. which is kind of a natural evolution of a shoe company. I'm just excited to see where it goes. And I'm just, it's riding the wave of women's sports and women empowerment.
Do you have those 4 Olympians? Are any of them in your stuff? Or have you?
No, I can't afford them yet. So eventually.
Do you already have competition out there? If you were first to market, did somebody come up pretty quickly? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, ASICS launched a shoe about 6 months after I did, and it's for women. They haven't updated their styles. They just have one line. I mean, I have another competitor that they have a lot of bright, fun shoes, and they've created more of a fad. So they're probably my bigger competition. But yeah, I mean, of course, they've seen that the sport is growing 60% every year, and they want to jump on.
Are you doing TikTok?
I need help with TikTok.
I think that right there, that's how you get them, right?
I know. That's where my audience is living. And, my board of advisors, they were like, you need to get out there more and get on TikTok. I'm like, nobody wants to see me dancing around. So that's a mental block I need to get through.
Well, I'm going to do a good job pivoting this time to Tyler. But before I do, I haven't said it, but people call Erin Fulk the queen of TikTok in Kansas City. Just a little plug there to Lily and James. Tyler, I know you shared a little bit, but as you think, what is the most pivotal point in your career that you've had?
Honestly, trying to live in the moment right now. Now is really it for me. If I'm looking back historically, this is something I've coached a lot of people on. There was a role that I took pretty early in my career. I was handed almost like a script and a pamphlet, and then I was told to shadow somebody that had almost the opposite personality of myself. I said, if you want to be successful, say these things, say it like, this person and try to, essentially be like this person. And I was tremendously unsuccessful for the first 3 to 4 months, to the fact that it almost didn't work out at the company. And it wasn't until, I had a really good coffee with an advisor of mine now. And he pretty much told me how much it's important to be true to yourself. Don't try to act like anybody else. Doesn't matter what role you're in. People sniff through that stuff when you're trying to sound like somebody else. And that was a big turning point in my career from a sales and marketing perspective. That definitely pivotal. So.
I have a quick question on that, because I find this so interesting, because I just hired a salesperson that will start this later this week. And his question to me, Gen Z, was, do I have to work off a script that makes me sound like someone? He asked that question, right? Or do I get to be myself? How much of this do I get to bring myself into this? How did you then take that advice, take it back to your organization and say, hey, this is what I need to do to be successful?
Yeah, I think scripts are great, right? But I think the point is, don't say things or don't say them the way that you wouldn't say them. Mm-hmm. So you can rewrite the script. You can get the same message across, right? 90% of communication is not done with words. So I think, using other skill sets other than just a script is really important.
But how did you take that back to your then advisor or boss or whatever and say, I'd like to switch this up and I think I'll be more successful? Did you have to have that conversation?
I don't remember having that conversation. I remember just doing it and then things getting better, which my boss was very happy about. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The people that work for you today, how do you coach them on being themselves and still staying on point?
I think that's an interesting question. I think it's more about having a solid relationship with the people that you work with, and there's a trust, and there's a respect that you have to have for each other. And you can almost there's intuition, right? Mm-hmm. If they don't sound confident or it sounds weird, just talk to them about it.
Well, I think that's such good advice. And I was so impressed when that kid asked me that in the interview the other day. So you following up with that just makes me a little bit more impressed.
It's a great question to ask.
Deb, this question's for you. See that spot? Did you see that?
You what?
I'm
I
teaching.
said Deb, but I didn't say it loud enough.
5 years into the show, I'm teaching him transitions. Hey, look, BJ's watching on his phone. Great group. All right, Deb, how are your 2024 goals going? Oh my God, you guys, next week will be November. How are your 2024 goals going? And how can the Kansas City community help you?
Well, I think they're going great. I mean, sales are up 86% or something. I mean, I'm really more proud of the fact that our profits up 70+%. I mean, our bottom line is doing much better. We are actively raising money. So anyone out there that wants to ride the wave of women's sports, reach out. Any coaches that you know of, any retail stores that you think would love to have our product in-house. I mean, those are our main. Any girls you know that wrestle that aren't aware of us. We have a group of 30 to 50 brand ambassadors. It's a great way to make TikToks and get discounted merchandise.
Have you done any partnerships with the Girl Scouts?
I have not.
That's a good one to look at. And they've got a new CEO, so they're looking at women's sports stuff. And then how do we get the Mahomes for you?
I beg your pardon. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
And how do we get the Mahomes on this for you?
How do we get the Mahomes? Oh,
that'd be great. That'd be a great brand ambassador for women.
Oh yeah, Brittany Mahomes. Yeah, she's on the list, right?
You guys go ahead and tag Brittany Mahomes.
We're skipping over Patrick, but yeah,
super viral.
Yeah, like she's got a huge following. She's into sports and fitness. She's a huge advocate of women's sports. I mean,
there's a lot of good women's sports influencers now. I need you to get on TikTok. Make me that promise.
I will.
Okay. You heard it here first. That's 2025 goals.
Yes. There you go. I want to get on TikTok.
Scott,
well, you said it. Speak it into existence. So when you are approaching ambassadors, what do you look for in an ambassador, and how do they grow your brand?
Well, we look for girls, of course. I mean, we go look at their social media, and I mean, they have to be aligned with our brand, which is, all about transparency. I mean, I guess borderline wholesome more than anything. So we want to make sure that, I mean, they have proper acceptable social media, right? I'm not necessarily looking at how many followers they have on the brand ambassadors, but it's supposed to be fun, right? It's their opportunity to use their platform to empower other girls, but then they can also make a little bit of money through their affiliate link, right? So, I mean, we have a TikTok channel. We have a TikTok shop. It hasn't gone viral. So
we're seeing that the TikTok shop is one of the top e-commerce platforms out there right now. So
right.
An opportunity for sure.
What is a TikTok shop?
What? I'm the boomer.
No. Yeah.
He's never even been on TikTok. TikTok shop is Amazon on TikTok.
Got it.
TikTok is essentially bringing Google, Facebook, and Amazon all into one platform. And it's very scary to a lot of people that own those big companies. So.
Hey,
TikTok shop is when your kids come to you and go, oh my God, I saw this on TikTok and I have to have it.
What they've done that the other ones haven't done is they've made it easy to do it with a click right here, right? So it just goes off your Apple Pay or off your PayPal, which is 2-click. I am very guilty of shopping off the TikTok shop all the time. But they've made it just so it's so simple. So Gen Z is just there heavy. So, all right. Well, Deb, where's the best place to find you?
Probably yesathletics.usa.com. Cool. Go check it out.
All right, Tyler, how are your 2024 goals going, and how can the Kansas City community help you?
Yeah, I guess pretty good, because my only 2024 goal for free was just to launch the website and start getting some e-commerce sales. So, so we did that. We were planning for a spring launch, as I mentioned. So really in the same lane, looking for ambassadors, looking for people in Kansas City that are athletes, that are fitness enthusiasts, that care about physical and mental fitness together, that has a story to tell, that wants to partner with a brand that can, make a difference and move the needle, not just in Kansas City, but for other people throughout the United States. So those are the meetings that I'm now looking to have. I've been very hesitant on having those meetings because I've been waiting, because we have hats right now, but I've been waiting for the apparel line to come in. And we just approved the apparel, and it's really high quality and fantastic. And I'm excited to take those to meetings and show people what we're working on. So, yeah.
So when on the mental health side, I think people just aren't really aware of the ecosystem of documenting and understanding suicide. Is that something that when people come to, I just had a high school friend on Tuesday last week commit suicide, and Adam Hamilton of Resurrection did a wonderful job.
Scott, I adore you. Can you not say it in that form, or we're going to get kicked off platforms?
I apologize. So from a mental, again, I'm learning as everyone else.
Yeah, it's just become with AI. They just so that it doesn't go viral when that happens, that they have certain words that get flagged. So
got it. No,
again, for everybody's notice, for your notice too, for your social. Tyler.
No, and I think it's good to know in general. Well, Adam Hamilton did a really good job of kind of connecting the dots and the resources and helping people learn. On the mental health side, do you also feel like you're helping people learn about ways to understand resources and how to get connected on this topic?
I think to like a holistic stance, absolutely, right? My journey into the mental fitness side was a lot more holistic and researching and trying new things. Like just like you go in the gym and do a fitness routine, there's 100 different things you can do and 1,000 different variations. Same thing with mental fitness. I'm happy to share what I know. There's a lot more people that are more well versed in those areas. So we definitely want to promote that and spread those messages. In terms of the other side that you might be referring to, we simply think that the people that need the help the most are going to get help by the hospitals and the foundations. And so those are the partnerships that we're going to be donating to. We are in no sense the experts in that side, and we want to rely on the people that have the credentials to make those calls
and shed light to those. Okay, got it.
Yeah, right. Shed light and do
I was
research.
Say, I think just you being a male and coming on here and talking about it is already a huge step, right? Just because I had it in the summer, same thing, and so I dove deep into how more prevalent this is in the male community, and we don't talk about it. Let's say that. So I think that's huge. Yeah. I think it's a big deal that you're here today, Tyler.
Thank you.
Hopefully we don't talk because of Scott. Just kidding. Just joking.
To the TikTok shop, learning all sorts of things today.
I wrote it down.
Write it down. It's a good thing. The way AI is coming, part of my job in social media is figuring out what you can and can't do and can't do every single day because it changes with so much coming on. So I just wanted to stop before we were done. So sorry I had to jump in like that. All right. Well, here's the thing. Both of you guys are doing amazing things. So I want to make sure everybody connects with you guys. Go make sure you connect with both Deb and Tyler. And thank you guys so much for coming on today. Thank you to Bestway International and Evardy Construction for sponsoring us. And Scott, as always, thanks for being the best co-host ever. We will see you same time, same place next week. But do you remember what you're supposed to do before you come watch the show?
Tell us who you voted for.
You don't have to tell us. You just have to vote. You just have to vote. So go vote next week. And we'll see you same time, same place. Thanks, guys.
Bye.